Hello, this is Mike Smith, and I wanted to talk to you today about Abigail Adams as we think about the role and influence of women around the Revolution. She's one of the major women of note that I think is important for us to consider. When we think of Abigail Adams, we're thinking of a very strong lady who served as her husband John Adams' closest advisor. She's best documented of all first ladies and of any, especially any women from the Revolutionary War period. This comes from the letters that she and John exchanged while he was away at the Continental Congress and other places on business for the new nation. He would often seek her advice, and the letters are filled with political and intellectual materials showing that her as his intellectual equal in their conversation. She maintained a life of political activity throughout her life, even after they were out of office, when John Quincy Adams, her son, also pursued the presidency. In the book, Dearest Friend, The Life of Abigail Adams, Lynn Whitney says that Adams held that improved legal and social status for women was not inconsistent with her essentially domestic roles. Adams' clearest declaration of her views come in a letter to her husband in 1787, while he is at the Continental Congress working on the new U.S. Constitution, where she says, quote, by the way, in the new code of laws, which I suppose will be necessary for you to make, I desire you would remember the ladies and be more generous and favorable to them than your ancestors. Do not put such unlimited power in the hands of the husbands. Remember, all men would be tyrants if they could. If particular care and attention is not paid to the ladies, we are determined to foment a rebellion and will not hold ourselves bound by any laws in which we have no voice or representation. So even at that early stage, she was very much into suffrage for women, of course, which they did not get until 1920. So she didn't live to see that. Adams not only had strong feelings about women and their rights, but was a strong abolitionist. She and her husband were the only founders who did not own slaves. As a child, she was raised in a preacher's home who was a slave owner. Her nanny, when she was finally freed, was employed and paid by Mrs. Adams to work in their home throughout the rest of her life. In the letter previously cited, she mentions the hypocrisy of the members of the Continental Congress attendees who were deciding freedoms and rights while they held human beings in chains. She said, quote, doubted that the people of Virginia, where most of the leaders actually came from, had such passion for liberty, seeing they deprived their fellow creatures of their freedom. Joseph J. Ellis, in his book, First Family, Abigail and John Adams, remarks that the correspondence between this first couple is unique and that Abigail Adams has left a treasure in so many ways for a lens into the Revolutionary War period and also into the thinking of her husband, for whom she was his major advisor. Thank you.